in America, women are equal, right? And here in Ghana, when I'm sitting at a table with a bunch of men, I needed to be more subtle, not so, I had to learn those things. Um, Talking second, not first, right? Even being the CEO of the company, they don't care. My husband has to speak first. I'm like, why are you looking at him? I'm talking. What's going on? I had to realize those things very on because first they want to know about who you are as a person, who your husband is, what your family situation is like. Then they want to do business with you.
Yo, what's going on, family? Welcome back to Afronomics. We are on episode 5, and we are here with an amazing guest. I'm going to let my boy Sita introduce her because he made the connection. He knows her, and yeah, we're going to take it away.
All right, yeah. All right, we got a special episode today. This is actually first one we're doing virtual, so we're really excited. And it's our first African American guest. So first episodes we all had African guests, people who could directly tie back to the continent. But now we got somebody that is Black American that has since relocated to Ghana and has set her roots in a whole other country on the continent. And we just got to hear her story. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Natasha Osei Antri from the U.S., now living in Ghana in Kumasi.
Correct. Kumasi, Accra, yes.
Yes, Kumasi and Accra. So, we're excited to have her on. So, I'm going to let her tell more specifics about her story, but basically, she is from the U.S., been business owner for several years, and her field primarily is in real estate. So she has a real estate brokerage that she started in Ghana, and now she's a well-known realtor, well-known brokerage real estate owner, and she does a lot to be able to bridge the gap between the diaspora that's out in the U.S., Europe, wherever, and people on the continent. So very aligned with what we're doing and our mission, so we're excited to have her on, and I'm going to let her get in and tell more about her story.
All right. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for allowing me to be on your platform. It is truly an honor for me to get out and speak. It's something that doesn't happen very often, especially for 2024. I've been heavy involved in my company, but I'm just honored. I think that your platform is something that people should focus in on, hone in on. Your topics so far have been delightful to watch, and so I'm extremely excited. A little bit about me, as you mentioned, my name is Natasha Osei Antri. I am an African American, born in Chicago, Illinois, raised in sunny California, San Diego to be exact. And I am a licensed international real estate professional. I took everything that I learned from the States and I brought it over to Ghana, incorporating my company called Akuya Properties Ltd. It is a registered limited liability company with the Ghana Revenue Authority. And we're extremely excited to be providing all the services that I've learned from the stateside and bring them over to Ghana, helping the community of the diaspora find investment opportunities, whether that be to purchase, to invest, to rent, or just allowing us to manage their property. So feel free to ask me the questions. I'm here for you, and let's get started. Yeah.
Well, first, I want people, because I don't think people in the room, people watching, know about, you got like a true African American love story, and I want you to talk about that just for a little bit before we get into the episode.
Okay. Yeah. So in 2019, I was a board member for the NAACP on a local level, and we received a call to come over to Ghana in 2019 for what was called the Year of the Return. And hence to knowing 300 of us were on one airplane. I think it was called South African Airways. I don't know if you guys know about that. 300 of us. So when we landed, I realized 300 of us were coming over. And so we went on a whole 14-day excursion. And while in Kumasi, someone stumbled upon me. And I was shocked. I was embarrassed because I literally had just got out the pool. If you guys have been here to the continent, you know the heat will suck you dry. And I was not in the mood to be talked to, but he had his eye. You African American men, African men, how you are when you know what you want, you know what you want. And I'm like, sir, now is not the time. And we built a relationship, and I just let him know who I was and what I wanted to do because I'm I'm very focused. And he's like, not a problem at all. I'm actually into real estate. My family has land and all these good things. I'm like, okay, well, let's go ahead and do this. In some kind of way, he swindled in to the other side of life. And the story is history. I was traveling back and forth since 2019, building a relationship with him as well as understanding the real estate market because I was serious about it. When I went over to the 19, we had a business summit, and the Ghanaian community actually encouraged us to come over, collaborate, build, with the Ghanaian people. We can trade skill sets. I mean, they have natural resources. We have skill set. And so you put us together and we're an unstoppable force. And that's what I really want to walk away today with, helping people understand. It's like not who's better than who, but really how can we work together? Because there's a niche for that market. So
yes. No, that's powerful.
You said so much. I'm trying to hold back because I know we got a segment to come up. But, yeah, this conversation is about to be so dope. I'm so glad that you're our first our first person in Africa, our first African American. You just a lot of firsts. It's dope. See, I know we got some fun stuff. Well, more fun stuff, right?
Yeah. So before we get more into knowing about your business and what you're doing in Ghana, we have a topic that is part of our segment called Wala. So
Wala.
You familiar with the term Wala? They use it in Ghana.
What is it?
Wala.
Wala.
Nope, I don't think so.
Really? Okay. I thought they used it in Ghana. But it means like trouble, nonsense, whatever. That's what Wala means.
Okay.
I know they use it in several West African countries. But basically, we open every episode with a topic that's a little more lighthearted, not super serious. And then before we get into it. So, and it's a different topic every episode, and even Llewellyn doesn't know.
I have no idea what we're about to do. So we're gonna have to come up with the same stuff.
All right, I'm listening.
On the spot.
So this one is not necessarily as kind of playful, but I think it's pretty good. So the question is, economics being the same, i.e., you have the same job, make the same money, and I think you already have the answer to this, but would you rather raise your kids in, like, Ghana, specifically for you? Like, for you it would be Liberia, for me Sierra Leone, or would you rather raise them in the U.S.? That's what the topic is.
Ladies first.
I go first?
Yeah. You can go first.
You can go first.
Hands down, I don't have children. We don't have children yet. We've had this conversation and we throw bows all the time because my husband does not want to move to the US, right? But he would love for our children to get the opportunity to experience the US education. Me, on the other end, absolutely not. I would prefer that they are born here on the continent as well as schooled here on the continent. Ghana has its levels of opportunities just like any other country or continent. So there's schools that, are, in poverty. There's schools that are middle class and there's schools that are upper class. We would fall in between the mid upper class because I want my children, unlike myself, to have a sense of identity. And growing up with the Ghanaian culture, they're going to have a sense of identity. They're going to be able to say, hey, my father came from this area of the continent, of the land, and this is where our story began and where it's at now. To whereas, unfortunately, us as African Americans, we can only go so far back in decades and say where we're at. And I want to stop that. I want to cut that off. So,
it's definitely.
My way during pillow talk, it would be. Yes.
What about you, Llewellyn?
So Liberia is different. Because of civil war and things like that. The education system is not the best in Liberia. If I had it my way, and Liberia was more settled and everything else, I would definitely want my kids to be educated in Liberia. I like you, Natasha. I feel the same way about the American education system. And I actually grew up in Montgomery County, Maryland, which is like one of the top school systems in the country. So I had a very good education. But still, I would want my kids to be. I would probably move to Ghana or something like that, so my kids could get educated in Africa and get an African education.
Yeah, I think we 3 for 3. Like, I don't know. I think I maybe have my kids born in the U.S. just because, I think it's a lot easier if you're born in the U.S. with, Sierra Leonean parents to still be able to go and get your Sierra Leone citizenship and passport like I got mine. But as far as being raised, I think that a lot of African countries and a lot of countries outside of the U.S. I just don't like the Western mindset. I don't like the values here. I don't like a lot of what we're teaching them. Schools, like even if I stayed in the U.S., I don't think I could put my kids in public schools the way that they teach the kids in the school. And then the violence aspect. People talk about other countries, developing countries, like they're dangerous. Like we don't have a school shooting like every other month. Like it's I would not want my kids to be in this environment if I had it my way.
Yep.
So I agree with both of y'all. I think Africa is the way to go when it comes to bringing up kids and just making sure they got the right values.
Now for college, I would say my kids would come here for college. That's cool. They could go to college here because the universities here are good. But even still, even if they said no to that, I would still be fine with them going to University of Africa.
Yeah, and to me, it's like
Yeah.
Oh, you go ahead.
And I agree as well, because what I'm finding is the connection that the Ghanaians bridge between, I'm going to use elementary school up into high school. Those are long lasting connections. And then when they go off to college, when they've been coming back here to Ghana, it's like they never left, they never stopped communicating. They didn't lose that bridge, and they're able to network and create businesses together based on that time they had together during grammar school and high school, right? I think that children deserve to see both worlds, to see like what's going on. But for me, it's self-identity. A lot of what's going on in the Western world with our community is because we lack self-identity, right? And we lack understanding of who we are. If we truly know who we were, I think we would make better decisions. A lot of other groups of cultures come to us for a lot of things, and we don't even realize what we have in front of us, right? And I can go on and on about that topic. And so it's just very important to me that my children don't go through some of the self-identity things that I went through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so many different things. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that concludes. We'll wrap up Wilder's segment and get more into the interview. Yeah. You were nervous?
Well, honestly, if I was making it up, you should have been nervous. But he's the one. He's the one that does it.
No, it changes. It changes. It wasn't too crazy today, but you know how we get sometimes. Yeah.
Well, that's a good topic, though. I mean, it's definitely something to think about. I think because we visited the continent, we're coming from this perspective, but other African Americans, they probably would think the opposite because of what they've been trained to think from media. They dare not bring their children to the continent here, right?
Yeah.
Whereas we've been and we've seen the endless possibilities. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You want to pop us off with the questions?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. I am conflicted between like what kinds of questions to ask you because I want to hear. I want the audience to hear more about you, what inspires you, your personal life, and things like that. But also, your business is so dope. Like I told you before, like when I read your bio, I was just blown away because I only knew of you based on what Sita had told me. But you really are doing really great things on the continent, and so I will say this. Okay, I guess my first question would be, as an African American going to Africa to take advantage of Ghana's what was the return
year
of the return, how has that experience been like for you, and what led you to say I'm gonna do this and make Ghana home?
I mean, truly, I was just tired of being the minority in sunny San Diego. I was walking in rooms and doors where it was only me, and I felt like I had to cover up who I truly was. You gentlemen have the benefit of being in Atlanta, where you're amongst your people. So if you do 1 week, we know what that means, right? To whereas in Southern California, you just don't have the opportunity. I've been grateful to be put in positions, living in San Diego, to where I learned a lot, and I'm able to bring that over here to where I'm at now. But at the same time, I was really tired of being the only one. I wanted to be amongst my people. I felt like that I had learned everything I need to know, and now I wanted to take the show on the road. I had poured into the country, I felt like, enough to whereas now I could take the show on the road and bring that over here to Ghana. Yes, real estate was being done prior to me arriving, but from what I'm gathering from my clients is it's done a totally different way. I mean, something as simple as DocuSign. I mean, they were like, some of my Ghanaian big boss clients like, Chale, what is this DocuSign, Natasha? Like, what is this? And I'm like, you want me to drive 5 miles for an hour in traffic to have you sign a contract? There's no way. DocuSign it, you know, have your assistant do it, right? And so those little small systems, they now appreciate it, but they wanted to cut my head off for it in the beginning. So what inspired me was just, I am a lover of experiences. I have a passion for real estate. Being able to be licensed and sell not only residential, but I was selling commercial multifamily. My last deal was 3.5. In sunny California, I sold like 11-unit property, and I was like, okay, I've done it. I'm gone. I'm out of here, and I'm just pouring everything into the continent. So.
No, wait. Well, you got the whole deck, because 3.5 million for 11 units is crazy.
It's right before the interest rates rose. I was like, yes.
That's crazy.
Like, listen, and they didn't ask any questions. They didn't. Listen, they released. It was great. No contingencies. Because they were on the 1031 exchange.
1031.
Yeah. So it was great. The numbers made sense. My buyers, my sellers were happy. I was happy. I was like, okay, we're done.
Of course, the sellers were happy.
I'm off to Africa. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. But no, what were you about to say, Lil?
Nah, you said something. It's even when talking about the education and things like that. You were given the opportunity to grow up in the U.S. and be educated here, and you had all these opportunities and things that you've now taken over to Ghana to make Ghana better. And that's part of what that's literally what we're trying to encourage people to do. Africans who are like us, who were born and raised here, and Black Americans as well, to realize like Africa is a place where you can call home if you desire to do so. If we can take our resources and things like that over on that side to be able to build it and develop it. So, I mean, you did touch on it, but if you can speak a little bit more about how you and even other Black Americans that you've seen go back, how y'all have been able to do that in your time. And I'm gonna let Sita, because I know you want to talk more about the real estate stuff too. So yeah.
So, I don't want to paint this as a fairy tale. It was not easy. Not every door opened up for me with welcome arms. They were like, who is this white lady coming over here thinking she's going to take up my niche, take up my market? Unfortunately, yes, I'm called an Abroni, which means a white person here in Ghana. Okay. And I said, wait a minute, how is this possible when I'm on the motherland and I'm not being called an African American, I'm called a white person, but I'll just take what I can get. It's not easy. You definitely have to have a plan. You definitely have to have a network of people and a system put behind you, because you can fall straight on your face. Ghana is still a country that is in development, which means that there are people who are looking for opportunities, and sometimes not sometimes, that can take advantage of you, right? And so, being that I came over with the NAACP, my good friend Diallo, who is the president of the African American Association of Ghana, I grabbed him and said, listen, I'm here now. It's me and you. I know you got a wife, but tell her it's me, you and her. Okay, we're together. And he just pointed me in the right directions and put me in front of people that I need to be put in front of, because he knew that I was serious. I was not coming here to play. I laid out my business plan to him. And then from that, I just created my own network of people in the real estate industry, like vendors who that I can trust to get the business done beyond what my expertise could carry for me, right? And so I think those things are very important. So don't just one day wake up and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm moving to the continent. No, not at all. You want to start building that relationship, visit a couple times, have some savings put aside before you do come over. Because Ghana has the environment for an entrepreneur spirit. Not from what I've learned, not many African Americans can come here and, get a job at a wage they're used to getting paid. That's not the case. Right? So you definitely have to have an entrepreneur spirit, or work for someone who's willing to pay you the wages you're used to getting paid stateside, or to survive. So.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Like, a lot of people talk about going back, but there is that adjustment of, the cost of living and the income, the salary, the wages are just different there. So, like, if you can create your own income, of course, and that's a way to kind of bypass that. But what would you say for, and you kind of touched on it before, what would you say for people who actually do want to do business there? Like, what are the things that may not be the most obvious? Like, what are some of the things that you learned that was like, I did not know that's how it worked over here until you started doing that? Speak to that.
Oh gosh, the exchange rate. Like no one tells you about, Ghana is everything's priced here in USD, right? Even though the currency is called CDs. And currently today it's about, I'm going to say every 16 CD is $1. So we're doing great as African Americans or any other nationality that has USD, right? And I think my first rental that we did, I just totally forgot about it. And so I forgot to give him the correct conversion rate, and our company ended up losing. We took an L. It wasn't a huge L, but any L is an L, okay? And I just had to learn very quickly those little small trinkets about doing business in Ghana is like when people come over with different currencies, you have to state the exchange rate to be able to get exactly what you're looking for at that price, or you can lose out. I didn't want to, I'm not into holding my clients accountable when I make the mistake, right? So I had to just eat it. So those kind of things. Uh, Getting used to just being on time. I'm so prompt from being from the Western world. Things that they tell you 10 o'clock, just don't even show up to 12, okay? Because no one's gonna be there at 10 or 11 o'clock. They're gonna be there at 12 and they're gonna show up. And if they're gonna think they're on time and they're gonna be ready to go, and you'll be like, oh my Charlie, 2 hours later. So those kind of things I don't stress out about anymore. Ghanaians will, bless their heart, due to their culture and their mannerisms, they will say yes, madam, to everything. They will say yes, madam, if I ask them, can they fly? Okay. And the answer is no, right? And I want them to say no, but because they title me as a madam, respectfully, they just want to say yes to everything. So even with my staff, I'm blessed to be able to have a full-blown Ghanaian staff, but my executives are Ghanaian and African American. In the beginning, they were just saying madam to I'm like, no, 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 no. I really want to know what you think as a human being when we're making these decisions, because you ladies are boots on the ground. You're the ones out making contact with the clientele when we are selling real estate. And so I want you to be able to give your undivided attention. I had to learn that culturally, and their working environment, bosses in Ghana don't care about what you think. Just get it done, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm like, no, 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 no. We're not gonna jump off this cliff together. You better tell me what's over there. So those kind of things. I can go on and on, but just name a few.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool. I know that there is like a big cultural difference, and that kind of almost like the madam, the sir, like the over formalities, and then like not just how they speak, but kind of how they treat you. Kind of can get in the way, and you got to be able to relate to them on a personal level, and that takes time. That takes
Right.
time. But yeah. No, and then outside of that, I would like to know more about what was that adjustment like. So in the U.S., of course, we got everything's developed world, first world country. We got way more than we need. In Ghana and Kumasi, I'm sure that there were some adjustments to like your personal living. I know the internet in Ghana is a challenge. Like, what were some of those things that you had to really adjust to? Now, outside of the business, just like your personal life, and how did you manage that? And how are you managing it?
I think we've been divorced like 5 times already. I've been divorced 5 times. Just for the simple fact is, you know, it takes some adjusting. I lived a very good life in sunny California, and we have a huge home here in Kumasi, and it's a traditional home, meaning that it wasn't built with all the generators and things that I'm used to here in Accra. That's why I fly here for these kind of things. And I've taken a bath with a bucket. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't use hot water because there's no need, because the water's hot because it's hot, right? I have washed my husband and I's clothes on our hands. I've pounded fufu, right? Now I was kicking and screaming in the beginning, and like I said, he's probably divorced me like I don't know how many times, right? Uh, but it wasn't easy. But because people explained to me, Natasha, not only are you going to be living here, you're married to a true traditional Ghanaian man, and there's things that come with that. I'm like, no, 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 this is not. This is going to be easy. I'm definitely going to submit. I know this. I've seen these in movies. Oh no, 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 no. When it comes to business relationships, in America, women are equal, right? And here in Ghana, when I'm sitting at a table with a bunch of men, I need to be more subtle, not so, I had to learn those things. Um, Talking second, not first, right? Even being the CEO of the company, they don't care. My husband has to speak first. I'm like, why are you looking at him? I'm talking. What's going on? I had to realize those things very on because first they want to know about who you are as a person, who your husband is, what your family situation is like. Then they want to do business with you, right? And in America, it's totally opposite. Let's get to business right away. I don't care about your wife. I don't care where you live. I don't care about those things. But culturally, it's different, and I respect it. Something as simple as using my left hand. My left hand is not existence here in Ghana because culturally they use their left hand when they go to the restroom, right? To whereas in America, you can use whatever hand works best for you, right? So those things I had to learn really quickly, really fast. Put my pride aside and do more listening than speaking. And but it has humbled me as a woman, and I've been living here for a year and a half now consistently, and I'm a changed woman for sure.
And it's interesting that even with all of those, you're still successful and you're still respected. And so I don't know what that means or what that says, but like even with you, I guess, acquiescing to the culture and all of that, you didn't allow that to put you down and make you a second class citizen. You still said, nah, I'm still here, I'm still doing my thing. And you're still sitting at the table with the men
Right.
and winning in that way. So yeah, I don't know what that speaks to, but I mean, like I said at the beginning, you dope.
Well, the job has to get done. When in the beginning, I used to call manhandling the developers. Our niche, our clientele, our niche is real estate investment opportunities. Yes, we do have uh, partnerships with developers who are selling only completed products, but our niche is investment opportunities where we're doing off-plan developments only. And through that process, us as African Americans, we like a lot of paperwork, right? And that helps us build trust in what's going on, especially if they've never done business here on the continent. And a lot of developers, as they welcome us to come and invest, they're not prepared for all the systems that we're used to, especially when you're dealing with someone who's coming from the West who was a real estate professional, right? Because unfortunately, here at this time, you don't have to be licensed, have any license requirements to sell real estate here in Ghana. You can just one day be a waiter, next day say I want to sell a $1 million house, and no one's gonna say anything, right? And that's where you hear those stories about fraud and those kind of things, right? But I put that blame on us because we don't do our due diligence. When we come over, we think, oh, deals, breaks and let's cut the corners. I'm like, no, when you cut corners, you're gonna end up down that road, that you don't want to be on. So working with the developers, they had to see how things were done the Aquia Properties way. If you want me to bring my buyers who have built trust and confidence in me to be wiring 75K, 100K, 2000K for your developments, then these are the systems what I'm looking for. Progress update reports. We're doing our due diligence, making sure that you own the land. They all know who Aquia Properties is. Let's just be clear. There's not one developer here that is selling good real estate that doesn't know who Aquia Properties is and Lady Aquia, because I want to do business with them, right? But I let them know in order for us to do business, these are the things that I'm looking for, right? I love the fact that they offer flexible payment plans. They don't run your credit. They don't ask for bank statements, right? As long as you have that between 5K to 10%, 5K to 10K down, then you can go ahead and begin making payment arrangements to the developers. Okay. So I forgot your question. I think I answered a lot in that one question.
It was more of an observation statement type of a thing. So you're fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Okay, very good.
Actually, where did
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna ask where did the name come from, Aquia? Does that mean something in tree or?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm a woman born on Wednesday, and in the Ghanaian culture, a woman born on Wednesday's name is Aquia.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't aware, but most of my ladies are born on Wednesday. I had no idea. I have one man now. But we're all Wednesday born, so it's Sequoia Properties.
Dope.
Yeah, that's the Akan language, right? I think Akan. That's why there's so many Kwames and Kwasis
Okay.
and
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Kofis from
Yeah,
Kojo's.
I have cousins,
Yeah.
and their middle names are Kofi and Kojo because I think it's born on a Tuesday or born on a Thursday or something like that.
Yeah, I think
So-
Kwame is like
Right.
Friday.
Yeah.
Kwesi is Saturday, but they
Yeah.
got a whole system.
So I also I want to switch gears a little bit. I know you have two nonprofits in Ghana as well, right?
Right.
All right.
Mhm.
I'm a nonprofit guy. I love nonprofit
Okay.
stuff. So yes, please
Yeah.
tell the people what the nonprofits do.
So I think I didn't hear you correctly, but I think you want me to elaborate on them both.
I said
Okay. So the first one is the being stateside. Not only did I have experience in I'll just say the real estate market, but I was also into property management as well. And one of my partners here in Ghana, her name is Regina. She's an amazing lady. It's Regina, just in case you heard anything else. Okay.
Hey, we
We'll put the caption off.
we
of that. We'll put the
mature.
caption off of that.
We're mature here.
My dad's like, what did you just say? What's her name? We co-founded the Rental Housing Association of Ghana. Just like I did with the real estate industry, I saw that there was a space for standardized system. I saw there was a space for that with the rental housing industry. People being, here, when you do rentals, if it's not short term, they're allowed to charge, legally or illegal, up to 2 years of rent up front, to where stateside you pay month to month if you're on a contract or not, right? And during that, landlords were going in units unauthorized. They were just doing turn off water, doing things that they just shouldn't be doing. And so, I had to sit down with the Ministry Housing of Works, and I let them know who we were. He's like, this lady again, here she comes with her ideas. Let them know that we were establishing the Rental Housing Association. We launched in 2022, and it's been going great. We have over 150 members, and we have monthly meetups where we just educate them on the importance of doing good business when it comes to property management and what that looks like as far as returns for their clients and pricing it right. What I've learned is the Ghanaian culture loves the word yes because they believe they're going to get opportunities. Well, with that comes being taken advantage of. Either we're taking advantage of them or their own people are taking advantage of them. And I tell them, if you're complaining about a market, you need to be the one as a professional to control how that happens. We got to stop some of these things, and they'll start to pay attention and do better business. And so it's worked out for us. My other nonprofit, Aquia Foundation, it was the first thing that I established before the company, Aquia Properties. It's my baby. It's where we give back to the farmers, the cocoa farmers up in the Kumasi area. And with the funds that we receive from the cocoa, we set up water wells. We build them. So I don't promote that as much as I should, but it's something that is genuine to my heart. Those farmers in those villages, they've never seen the type of money they've seen now, just because their farms were being not malnourished. And $500 can go a long way here, right? And so family and friends just have been donating to the foundation. I really haven't made it public, and we've just been giving back to different villages that my husband is aware of. Yeah.
No, I love that because oftentimes we see there's like a whole white savior mentality all throughout Africa. And it's actually baffling, it's mind boggling because it's like you have generations of oppression, stealing resources, colonialism. As a result, you have a lot of African countries that are poor, and then you got white people coming together for the solution. And it's like you created the problem in the first place. So, I mean, I be feeling the way sometimes, but I love seeing when it's us that are coming together to solve our own problems because that's what we really need. So it's like as a black American, you're African, whether you can trace it back directly or it's generations down the road, you're African. So you being an African, using your resources to solve African problems, that's like one of the biggest things that we need. And that's what's going to end oppression for us worldwide. We got to be able to solve our own problems. So I love that you're doing that.
And I think, thank you for saying that. And I think that's why I'm just so fired up about what's going on now here in Ghana. There's so many of us every single day coming off the plane to explore not only the culture, but opportunities, right? And they're starting to see that, hey, what I'm being shown on TV at 2 o'clock in the morning, the skinny, starving big person with flies all over them, is not truly what Ghana looks like and what it has to offer. That's all that I can ask as a person. I mean, it's beyond real estate for me at this point. Different groups of people come over and they get it instantly. For some reason, I think because of the conditions, it just takes us a long time to understand what's going on. I just don't want it to be too late. You know, I'm not saying I have to be the only one who's doing business this way here on the continent. I invite many of them. I have an entire international division of licensed real estate professionals, about 30 of them, who I get on the call with every month, whenever they WhatsApp me. WhatsApp and I go together real bad. Okay. And I just train them or their clients about investment opportunities in Ghana, and they either take advantage of our real estate investment tours and come over, or they come over on their own and we show them the investment opportunities. And the question always is, how can I live here? Yeah. I always tell them first, with savings or get a remote job. Talk to your employer about going remote. Yeah. And it's possible. I'm not as stressed. I'm eating real organic food. Yeah. You know, it's just so many different things. I really don't wear a whole lot of makeup anymore, except for when I do speaking engagements and stuff like that. It's just a whole different life that I couldn't ask for more. So.
Yeah, you talk about not as stressed. One of my favorite moments when I first visited Liberia was my uncle and I. We literally just sat on his porch, and my aunt, she made some food. We sat on the porch, drank club beer, ate some Liberian food, tuppergee, which is my favorite dish. I climbed the tree and got some cashew fruit off the cashew tree. We ate it together, and time had gone by. It was 4 hours later, and I didn't even realize that 4 hours had gone by. That's one of my favorite moments of being in Liberia. So I completely understand the stress is a lot less of a factor. I think we've been talking for a while, man. But I think I got two more questions. You got another question, Caesar?
Yeah, you can go
ahead. I'm sure that the folks who are listening as well, they may want to know how to do work with you, how to tap into even Acquia Foundation and things like that, so how they can support what you're doing in any kind of way. Can you let folks know how they can tap in with you in any of your business ventures?
Yeah, first let's just go ahead and make the connection. Again, WhatsApp and I go together really bad. And so they can reach out to me on WhatsApp. I'm trying to pull up one of my mini phone numbers, so hold that thought. While you're doing that, I also can be reached at info@gh.acquiaproperties.com. And then the ladies will let me know that you're reaching out to me. Give me 1 second. Oh Lord, I have so many numbers. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Or on WhatsApp, I still have an international number. It's 760-529-7834. That's my business line. You can reach out to me and we can just talk about, how we can partner together to make it great. I think it's very important. I think the real estate was just one of my vessels to get in, to become well known, to do good business. But my heart lies with just getting people over here. And that's why December is around the corner. I'm extremely excited for it. I'm extremely excited about the opportunity for all of us to be coming back home, but not only to party, and live life as you should, because you've worked hard throughout the entire year, but also take a moment and let's just do business.
Can you elaborate on, you said December twice in this convo, but I don't think everybody who's listening knows why December is such a thing. So can you tell us why December is such an exciting time to travel to Africa?
Oh, yes. So I found out, my first trip to Ghana was in August 2019. And I found out that a lot of people, because it's not televised, was coming back to Ghana in December to celebrate just life. And when I say a lot of people, I mean celebrities that we're well aware of. I mean the Ghanaian culture, people from the diaspora, which is us, who have an attachment or who are African American, going back to Ghana and just living their best life on all levels you can possibly think of, right? And that's how I met Sita. Don't quote me on what event, because I don't remember right now, but that's how we met. And I was not aware of that. And so what I did was I came back in December and I said, oh my gosh. My first experience was Afro Nation. Well, no, it was called Afrochella at the time. Now they changed it to Afro Future, here nor there. And I was just like, what is this? Like, I've been going to Brazil and all these other countries, and I should have been going right here. I told my friends, don't ever talk to me about no other country. I'm not continent. I'm not going nowhere else. This is it. So people come back home in December between the 20th till the January 3rd, and they just celebrate life. And last year and this year, I said, okay, I'm going to use this opportunity to grasp those people and let them know about investment opportunities. So Aquia Properties actually are hosting 2 events this December that are centered around real estate. Both events last year were sold out. I was just honored. I was emotional. I was exhausted. I was stressed out, but I'm extremely excited for what God is allowing me to do on the continent. So
Yeah, talk more about those events. What can people expect? Go tapping into your event in December. How do they find out more information about it? Just tell them more about it.
oh yeah, so we'll start truly marketing it. Believe next week marketing material will be done, but it is 2 events in December at the beginning of December, because I didn't want to hold you, because I know at the end of December you're not going to be thinking, right? So December 2nd and December 6th, our first event is called Brunch and Beyond. It's an international real estate networking brunch where it's about some 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. where we invite international real estate professionals, brokers, agents, developers to meet with international real estate brokers, agents, and we all come together under one accord and have a conversation, and we network. And that's not even saying that you have to do deals with Aquia Properties only. I don't mind. Do deals together. What I like, what I'm more focused on is you guys building that relationship, right? During that networking event, we're going to have panels. This year, we're going to do an international women in real estate panel. We're going to do a men in real estate and development. I can't really talk too much about it just yet because all contracts aren't signed, but we got some heavy hitters coming out from all over the world. I'm extremely excited about it. We do a segment on mortgage opportunities, because you can get a mortgage here in Ghana, as well as asset protection. They have property renters insurance like we do in the States. They have property managers like they do here in the States. And so I just want to open people's eyes to let them know that these things are possible in Ghana. Do not believe what you're seeing on TV. So that is our networking brunch on the 2nd of December. And our other event is going to lead up to that, which is our Invest in Ghana real estate tour. And we're going to spend an entire day going through the city of the prime locations in Accra, looking at investment opportunities.
Yeah. And if somebody's in the U.S. and they want to get a property, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this. If someone's in the U.S. and they want to get a property in Ghana, how do they go? Like, what do they do? What's that process like?
Oh yeah. So first they hire a qualified real estate professional such as Aquia Properties, right? We're going to go ahead and do a buyer consultation, send you over our listings. At that point, we're going to find out what your needs and wants are. We do ask the question, what location? And you guys usually say, we don't know. So then we start showcasing investment opportunities. I always let people know that the untapped market right now is beachfront properties. Everything in Accra, inner city is choked. When Ghanaian developers built, they were like, Chale, we're not going near the water. We are going near the inner city. And so I just showcase different opportunities. We have properties right now that you can get a 1-bedroom, 1-bath for $60K. I have properties right now with Heritage 100 that you can get a property for $259K with ocean view. So it just really depends. When we do the consultation, we also talk about representation outside of us, which is the due diligence process with an attorney. We work with Aquia has a team of professionals. We don't just do this alone. We have us as the agency. We have real estate professionals. We have attorneys. We have an escrow company. We also have a surveyor, and we also have bankers on our team, and we have insurance. So at the end of your transaction, you're going to be locked and loaded and set up for success with all the necessary documents. Now, one thing I want to point out here in Ghana is that we do leasehold, we do not do freehold, okay? If you ask me, it's the same thing in the States. They just tricky with the words. But Leasehold is where a foreigner can purchase any property, but they'll have a lease of 50 years, okay? What we make sure to do is that that lease is always able to renew, and that's making sure your sales purchase agreement is in order. So everything that you need to do, we take care of it from you from the beginning to the end. And we rinse and repeat with our clients. And they're very happy.
One-stop shop. One-stop shop. Well, Natasha, we appreciate you stopping by and giving your time. It's what time is it over? It's 7 o'clock over there right now, right?
Yes, it's almost stepping there, yes.
Yeah. So we appreciate you stopping by and having this chat with us. I hope that whoever is listening, that our audience would want to tap in and be able to tap in with you, and even pull up in December to some of your events that you have going on. Because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, can I make it over there for some of this stuff?
You sure can.
Ghana is a time in December.
I'm sure.
Possible.
I'm sure.
Let me know if you need assistance with accommodations. We can definitely take care of you. I feel like we're brothers and sisters now, so we can see what we can do for you.
For sure.
You know, to get you in a nice place, you know, amongst the people.
Oh yeah, no.
For sure. You ain't said nothing but a word.
Right. Say
You ain't
this.
said nothing but a word.
Okay.
I'll send you over the full agenda for the events in December, so you can kind of see where you want to plug and play.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're in for the 2nd and the 6th though for our event.
Okay.
If you're in town, I would love for you guys to be a speaker. We'll figure out how to make it work.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Let's do
Absolutely.
it. Let's do it. Well, folks at home, Afronomics, this is episode with Natasha. I'm not even gonna try to say the last name because I want to mess it up. Sita, you do it, please.
Yeah. All right, so appreciate y'all tuning in the episode. We got Natasha Osei and Tree on, and she was able to drop some knowledge on real estate, her nonprofits, and just happenings going on in Ghana. So hope you enjoy it. Please go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, all of that. Tune in to Afronomics.
We out.